What's up, guys? Today is November 10th, 2024, and I wanted to talk a little bit about why you should keep moving forward regardless of results and outcomes. So, one thing that I've noticed within myself is that when things are going well for me, if I find any success in some field, I get really motivated to continue down that path with tunnel vision, essentially. And it feels like my mind is on fire when it comes to that specific field that I got a little bit of success in. Like it'll be the thing that's on my mind when I wake up, and it'll be the thing that's on my mind when I go to bed, and I'm excited to get back up and get started on it the next morning. And it's really good motivation wise, but there are some drawbacks to that. Like, for example, I had a little drop shipping business on Etsy a couple of years ago, and honestly, I found success in that field pretty quick, mostly because it was a little exploit, I guess. It was a little bit exploitative. You weren't really allowed to drop ship on Etsy, but you can get around that, and then without spending any money on advertising, you can sell your product and get a lot of audience, get a lot of views, and get a lot of sales without having to put in any money up front. And anyways, I started getting sales pretty quick. And I would just see the growth on my account every single day. I'd be checking the Etsy app, and it made me want to go work on that business like every single second of the day. When I was finally getting rewarded for the work that I was putting in, it was like my motivation was on fire for those couple of months. I was always checking the Etsy app. I was always checking my sales. Like every 15 minutes I was on my phone checking to see if I got a new sale or anything like that. Like it was all I thought about. And that was probably the most focused I've ever been in my entire life. Like it only lasted for 2 months, but that was the most productive 2 months that I've ever seen. Like I'd go to bed thinking about how excited I was to go get back up and get to work the next morning. Then I'd wake up at 6:30, get straight out of my bed, maybe go to the bathroom, get a glass of water, and then straight to work within 5 minutes. My motivation was just so high during that period. Like I usually struggle to get out of bed in the morning. Not like that, but I'm not a morning person. Like I like sleeping in. Waking up at 6:30 was so easy. I didn't even feel tired. I was just up and out of bed every morning, doing my homework, getting all that out of the way so I can work more on my business. That was super easy. Focusing on anything was just so easy during that period. If it meant that I could get that work out of the way and then go work on what I really wanted to, I could focus for such a long period of time. I could focus for so hard, so long. Everything was easy because I was so motivated. And eventually I got banned off of the platform because it was a little bit exploitative. And instead of keeping that same work ethic and trying to get back on through another angle, or trying to build momentum on a new shop, because you can just go make a new account and then try to do the same thing over again. But instead of doing that, I kind of just stopped working that hard. I gave it a little bit of a go, but I wouldn't even say I gave it a fair shot after my main source of income got deleted. And then at some point, I kind of just let the whole thing go and then forgot about it. And it's kind of sad to say, that's clearly the wrong way to go about it. And objectively, if you have an opportunity, whether there's ups and downs, if you know you have an opportunity and you know that you can do something once, that means you can probably do it again. You should go back and put in that same amount of work, regardless of if you're making money at that time or if you're being rewarded for your work or not. That would be the logical thing to do. But because my motivation and my work ethic was so closely tied to how much success I was seeing at the time, I kind of just let the whole thing go after I didn't see the success anymore. And I had to start from zero again and climb back up. I wasn't motivated to do that again because I had such a good thing going and I lost it all. I didn't want to start back up and start from scratch. And I can kind of see that same trend of motivation with YouTube. Like when I get a subscriber or a comment, or one of my videos gets 100 views or something like that, it gives me extra motivation to go and make more content because I know that what I'm doing is working and I'm finally moving in a direction that I want to be going. And I'm finally seeing a little bit of success. And that makes me want to go back and compound on it and take advantage of that wave and just keep moving forward. Like literally every morning when I wake up now, the first thing I do is I get out of bed and then I go check the YouTube Studio app on my phone and see if I got any new comments or any new subscribers. Like that's the first thing that I think of when I wake up in the morning. And I'm thinking about this channel for most of the day because I'm seeing a little bit of progress in it. I'm super happy about that. But like my motivation to go work on this is on fire because of that. Even because of those like little results that maybe some people wouldn't say are worthwhile right now. For me, that's motivating me a lot to keep on pushing forward. But the thing that I've noticed is that I'm only motivated when things are going well. And for things to go well in all fields, in any endeavor, I think that you need to go through the beginning phases of maybe being bad at what you're doing and not being rewarded by the world for your efforts. And this kind of goes back to the same thing that I was saying in the last video. But in order to get positive results in anything, you have to be good first. I think that's first and foremost. Oops. And to be good at anything, you have to practice. So there's going to be a period of time where you suck at what you're doing. And it's obviously not fun. And you're not going to be rewarded by the world for being bad at something. And for me, that beginning phase is kind of hard to get through. And I can see within myself that it's hard to want to do something without being rewarded for it. And I think in that moment, personally, I have to take a step back, kind of see what I'm doing from an outside perspective, understand that I don't want to work because I know I won't see results, and then logically see that if I do this now and don't reap the benefits, I will reap the benefits later with consistency. And I think that in a lot of fields in life, probably in most fields, success is an exponential curve where you can work super hard at something and see no results for the longest time until 1 month you gain some traction or things start going your way. When building that company, it's probably that first client that can change your whole life and validate your business. And it's always that first client that's the hardest to get because you don't have any proof to show your customers that what you're promising is actually viable in the real world and that you can actually deliver on what you're promising. And it's the same thing with YouTube. You can post and post and post, and you might only get view numbers in the tens or hundreds. But from what I see, it's usually one viral video that launches the channel into the sphere of relevance. If a video goes and gets 100,000 views compared to a channel's 5,000 average, they just got 20 times the exposure that they normally do. And if they get 1 million views somehow, that's 200 times the exposure that they would normally get. That's crazy. It's not like that one video they made is 20 or even 200 times better than all their other work. I don't even think that's possible. But for some reason, they received 20 to 200 times the results that they normally do. And now their channel gets way more views after that one viral video, maybe double or triple the views on average. And again, it's not because their videos got twice as good from that point. It's just the fact that they stuck around through the difficult, no success phase until they actually got to see the fruits of their labor. So again, what I'm trying to say is that success isn't a linear path. I think it's more exponential. And it's the exact same thing with compounding interest and investing, where for the longest time you have this straight curve where it's moving a little bit, and then there's a tipping point where you break through and then that exponential compounding interest really starts to kick in. And then it's like a vertical line. So I feel like it's the same thing with success, where for the longest time, you can put in work, put in time, put in effort, and see no results until one day, 1 week, 1 month. Everything just starts to change. You start gaining the traction that you feel like you finally deserve. But you have to stick around to actually see that. I feel like most people quit before that actually happens. Anyways, what I'm trying to get back to is the idea that your work and output should not be dependent on if you're seeing success or not. Because it's consistency that gets you to reaching your goal. And riding the highs and lows of whatever you're doing is going to stagnate your growth in the long run. And honestly, if you ride the lows a little bit too hard, you might even quit, and then you won't even see the benefits of what you've been working towards at all, which is, it's sad to say, but it happens to a lot of people. For example, like on this channel, on what I'm working on here, I think a good perspective would be that if yesterday's video does good, I want to capitalize on the momentum of that video and then go make another one today to try to ride that wave and get more views and subscribers and try to build a bigger following from that. And if things didn't go so well, if things went horrible on my last video and I got 2 views, which were probably me, then I would need to go back and then make another video and try to fix things and try to build momentum again. But either way, I'm going to be making another video and learning from my mistakes and putting time in and just overall being consistent with the work. Like regardless of the output, regardless of if the video did well or bad, I'm still going to show up the next day and make another one. And then maybe that one's good, maybe that one's bad. And then you just keep on repeating the cycle. And then eventually, if you keep on repeating that cycle, for this, for example, I'll have a bigger catalog of videos. So YouTube has more videos to recommend. And then eventually, maybe one of them does really well. Eventually, I'll get better at making these. I'll get better at speaking. So that's a win right there. And yeah, maybe I'll see the success that I'm looking for. But if I'm inconsistent, if things are going badly and I never climb back out of that, then I'm never going to get the results that I want. So I'm never going to get to the place in life that I want to if I don't stick consistently to what I want to. And if my work and output becomes dependent on the outside world and external factors and external result, that shouldn't matter to me. I should put in the same work regardless. And anybody watching should hopefully do the same thing. So that's kind of the lesson that I had for today. That's all I wanted to share. And if you're still watching, thank you, number one. But let me know in the comments what you think of this one. If you have any ideas, any topic ideas that you want me to talk about, please leave a comment down and then I'll reply to all of y'all. I'll get back to all of y'all at some point. And if you want to leave a like or subscribe too, that would help the channel out a lot. But thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all tomorrow with another video.